Hey guys, this is Daniel, the owner and founder of EduPros USA, your local college expert. I have a special guest next to me today. I'm going to introduce you shortly, but I want to talk to you guys about SATs and tutoring today because that's a big component of the college admissions process. Because you need to, obviously have a high score on your standardized tests in order to get into the more prestigious universities. So the higher the score, the more chances and opportunities you're going to have to get into the top universities. So that's why today I have with me Gayane, who is a tutor, and she tutors SAT and ACT prep. And I want to introduce her to you guys because she's a partner company to me, and we work with each other. And so I'd like her to give her some insight on her experiences. She's, by the way, she's an amazing tutor, and she's a Berkeley grad. Kind of makes me feel a little bit awkward because I'm a UCLA grad, but somehow,
Rivals.
yeah, exactly. But somehow we've had a good partnership so far. We're actually pretty good friends, family friends, and she's good, and she's my go-to person when it comes to tutoring. So Gayane, you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi. So my name is Gayane. I'm the owner and co-founder of Best LA Tutors. It's a tutoring company that I've been running for like the past 10 years. So I've had 10 years experience in tutoring, lots of subjects, except sciences, but everything else. And for science, I have other tutors that work for me. But SAT and GMAT and GRE and all those testing as well, I've been tutoring for a long time. So what I've learned from actually tutoring SATs is that individual tutoring is the best approach for SAT and actually making your score go higher, because every student is different, like their weaknesses and strengths are different. Even in just math, let's say, when you get your statistics back from the SAT test, every little part of it is different. So every student gets either like statistics is bad, or their algebra is bad, or geometry is bad. So it depends on the student. So you cannot base it on like you cannot just take a general lesson for SAT and just try to higher your score if you're not tackling the exact things that you need to work on. So what I've learned from my experience is every student needs a specific area what they need to work on, and that's kind of what I try to do in my tutoring, because I try to tackle the specific areas that they need help with.
Right. So what you're talking about is the students who take the PSAT, they get a report back.
Yes.
From the PSAT, which has a breakdown of all the items that the student missed and got correct, and it also tells you what sections or what type of problems the student missed on the math section, because it's subdivided into different topics, right?
Yes.
So that's how myself and Gayane, when we work with a student, we sit down and analyze that, and we customize our strategies to meet the needs of the student.
Yes,
specifically.
Exactly.
By the way, Gayane, you guys should know, as I said, is a Berkeley grad, and she majored in mathematics and economics. But that's her area, mathematics. And I know, Gayane, for some reason, a lot of students struggle with math. It's hard for them. I don't know what it is. Even when I used to go to school, usually students struggled in math at that period of time too. So what is it about mathematics? Can you talk about that? A lot of students find it difficult to understand, or do you have to be a special type of student to have a mathematical ability, or can anybody acquire the skills when they learn?
Anybody can acquire the skills. Like most of my students, yes, do have difficulties in math, and most of them complain about like, oh, I will get anything but math, and math is my weakness. But It's just math requires a lot more work than students are willing to put in these days.
Okay.
So that's one of the problems that I've acquired most of the time is mathematics needs a lot of work,
Right.
meaning a lot of homework, you need to do a lot of exercises for you to actually sit in your brain and actually remain there. Otherwise, even if you understand the concept, if you don't do enough exercises that make you remember the concept and remember how do you do it, you will easily forget it.
Right.
It's like driving. If you take only 2 driving lessons, you know all the rules. I mean, you gave the driving writing test, so you know all the rules, and you're taking 2 driving lessons. Do you think you're ready for driving? Just like any other driver, we drive constantly, and every time we drive, we learn something new about driving. It's the same driving that we learned in the first 2 lessons, except you learn something new about yourself, your strategies when it comes to driving. So it's the same thing in math. You need to do more problems, you need to solve more, and you need to be consistent for it to actually remain in your brain as one of the skills that you have acquired, and it remains there.
Right. It's a great point. Repetition is the mother of learning, as they
Exactly.
say. So
But most students are not willing to do that repetition.
And you raise a very important point, Gayane, because math is a skill that takes a long time to stay in your mind, as Gayane is mentioning, which means for high school you need to start early. That's the whole point of the message that I always insist, even with the college admissions process, is you need to start early, because when you're in the 11th grade and you have to take it as in the spring semester of your 11th grade for the first time, you don't have enough time to go back and review all the skills that you may have missed before.
Exactly.
So preparing for your SAT is something that starts in elementary school. Really, I mean, if not, you're in high school, then definitely something that you want to start in the 9th grade, because when you get to the 11th grade and you don't have the algebra, the basics of algebra in your mind, you're struggling with the geometry, with the proofs, or whatever that subject specifically entails, then it's too late. It's too late to get those great scores. So we need to start early. We need to start in the 9th grade. That's why we want to let parents know that use tutors to supplement the instruction that your student is getting in the school, because sometimes they miss concepts and they fall behind. And the way it is in schools is they go quickly because they have to cover a certain amount of chapters and a certain amount of content. And sometimes when students miss something, it just adds layers of stuff on top of that, and then all of a sudden they give up or they get frustrated, and that's where the anxiety comes, right, Gayane?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, and for a lot of students, if you're taking Algebra 2 in 11th grade, you're kind of late, because if you have to take the SAT in 11th grade, you need Algebra 2 skills, you need geometry skills. So if you are taking Algebra 2 just in 11th grade, it's going to be a challenge for you to pass SAT, simply because you need Algebra 2 skills, or you need Algebra 2 knowledge for the SAT math.
Absolutely.
Or ACT math. So as Daniel said, it starts earlier. It starts from even 7th grade. Are you going to take pre-algebra in 7th grade, or are you going to take 7th grade math? It has a lot to do with where you're headed in college, to college or to high school, because it starts there. It starts as early as 6th grade, 7th grade. Your knowledge, your math, English, it doesn't matter. The more accelerated path you take, the better it is for colleges, and the better it is for your future, obviously.
Absolutely. So Gayane and I share in that philosophy. We really believe in that early is the best. Allow us to work with your students early. That's why when I do my college planning, I start with 9th grade before rising freshmen.
Yes.
Because we need to know how many SAT courses, not SAT courses, I'm sorry, how many AP courses, how many honors courses you need to really take, in order to go to UCLA, because UCLA wants you to have rigor and wants you to take challenging curriculum. So you need to be able to take courses early on. Now I want to make an announcement, you guys, talking about our partnership. Gayane and I are going to do a parent info seminar session about our services and our collaboration. But it's mainly going to be on the college counseling aspect of it, and I'm going to present to a community of parents coming up September 8th in Lake Balboa.
Yes.
Right, Gayane?
Yes.
So you want to give parents a little bit?
Yeah, so
that?
a lot of the parents ask me a lot of questions about what AP classes to take, when should we start studying for SAT, and what classes count and don't count for colleges, and we have a lot of the insights, both of us combined, and that could really help all the parents and the kids to make the right decisions once they start high school as to what classes to take, and what extracurricular activities, what sports to join, and all that stuff. We can help you guys understand all that and answer all the questions you have on that day. So it's open to public, it's open to everybody, not only the parents or students we work with, but everybody else. So
Yes.
everybody is welcome. It's at a little, my tiny little classroom in Lake Balboa. So it will be fine. It will be fun. Just come in, ask your questions, anything you have, and just we're there to help you guys. We're there
Yes.
to answer all your questions, and as much as possible, and hopefully help you guys to find the right path towards your
Yes.
education.
Excellent. And you want to also give them the address and the time?
Yes, so it would be Saturday, September 8th at 1 p.m. And the address is 7319 Forbes Avenue, Lake Balboa, California, 91406.
Perfect. Thank you, Gayane. So it's open to the public. We have an educator's heart. We want students to be successful, and we want them to understand how the system works. We want the parents to understand how the system works so they can maximize on their students' potential. We're all about talent development. We want to help students get to the best place possible for them to be successful in their lives. So that's why we want to offer what we have in our experiences, as Gayane said. I went to UCLA, she went to UC Berkeley. We have that UC foundation in terms of understanding the system, and of course we've worked with many other universities around as well in terms of the caliber of students and that apply to those schools. So please, come. It's a free event. It's open to the public. Come and listen, learn, ask questions. Let us help you. And school has just started, right?
Yes.
So students
So
are back.
It's the right time.
It's the right time. College applications are, the filing deadlines are in November.
Yes. And they're already open.
They're open, and students are writing away. They're writing their essays, personal statements, filling out their applications. So this is a good time to come and ask questions and see what type of services we have to offer in order to augment or supplement the services that your student is receiving at the school. So thank you again for joining us, Gayane. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And yeah, of course. And we this is what we do. We love it, and we want to be there to support you. So have a wonderful weekend, and all of you kids and families have a great start of your school year. Make this a good school year. Do your best, make those grades, do those extracurricular activities, prepare for those tests, because everything counts, especially when you're in high school.
Yes.
So we're hoping to see you on September 8th. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.